Okay, so under the heading of I'd like to get this thing to move along. I mean, I like stuff, but it'd be nice to move this along. Anyway, gonna try the orbital sander, see if I can dig in some. I don't know. There's reason to believe that that's the solution. I think it's cleaning up. See how this gouged area works. That was the flat. Well, that was just a quick pass, but other than a couple of spots, which mean I have to take everything else down to that surface. I got it. But it's knocking it down. I think I'm going to be able to succeed. All right. Well, I won't say I'm embarrassed, but it is kind of crude to expect a sander to do all your carving work for you. But that's moving along. I'm gonna go around, all the way around, and we'll see what it looks like when we get back. All right, I think I'm going to use a technique you've seen me use before on hand planing, where I'm going to mark things out so they have a clue as to where I am. But I'm getting a little low spot there. I'm not wholly disappointed with this, but I want to mark the low spots so I have some idea as to what it is that I'm trying to accomplish, and I can see it at speed. Get some overcutting here. Get some overcutting there. I guess it's all about controlling your overcutting. Getting a little bit of a gully at the bottom of these. I'm going to have to go around intentionally and try to lower the center of this. But that's I think it's going to go all right. Let's see what happens now. All right. Thanks for sticking with me on this. We've got like 3 flaws in this. A little bit there. That there. I'm looking at blems. This is all about blem control, right? Couple little spots here. That's in the wood. Tiny thing there. And then the center of this thing is still high. The edges are good. The rounded corners are great. I'm really pleased with a lot of this. I think I'm going to yank this. I don't see it helping me at the moment. And get a pad on here that I can sand onto, and then see if I can dress the back of this thing, which is mostly a sanding project. And then rounding the edges, which I think I can do with a block plane. Really close. Let's see what it looks like in a minute. Boy, if there was one thing that I didn't like about Cherry, and there might be just one, it's tendency to burn. At least with my tools. Maybe I don't keep my tools sharp enough. I don't know really what the answer is. But I'm always getting burn marks. Fortunately, they come out. Unfortunately, you have to remove the burnt wood. It's not deep, but you have to take it off. Anyway, so I'm going to sand. I also have a little bit of a dislocation in my saw blade where I cut this in 2 passes, and somehow the blade tracks differently. I still have some 80 grit paper in here. Been mostly just using the edges of it, hollowing out. So this will be reasonable use for it on the edges. On the edges of this, which I'll be able to use the center. So let's see what happens. Now that's 80 grit. This is a wood removing grit. And it's not anything to do with finishing. Before I put any finish on this thing, I'll sand it again with 180 and maybe even 220. 180, I know there's a 120 in between, but I may skip it. But anyway, doing all right. Got rid of the burn there. Let's see how it works on the end grain. Little teeny bit. Now here's the thing, little hint from your Uncle Dave. When I put the oil on that, this is just slightly dark. When I put the oil on that thing, it will show darker than it does now. But I'm going to sand it all again with another grit. So I could be done. If you're looking at the corner, you can see that I've brought this down a little bit sharper than the corner. So I think I'm done. Turn it. Try this side. Watch that angle right there. I want to bring it right to that point. All right, good. She said, "Oh, that cleaned up well. It's cleaning up fine." I'm not going to withdraw my previous comments, but it's cleaning up fine. We're going to keep on going. I like it. Looks really good. I'm really pleased. Cool. All right. So the inside sanded out well. Now it's just a matter of rounding the edges. I thought about setting up a router to slightly round the edges, but I think I'll get into more. There's a way too much chance of getting into trouble. So I'm going to plane a little bit of a bevel and then round. That's the plan. Always end grain first. This seems reasonable to me. Okay, now the back side. Hopefully I get the same kind of, wow, that's great sort of feeling from this. This is so arbitrary, right? It's good to have it rounded though. End grain first. Notice I'm using the plane at an angle rather than trying to go straight across. It's a little bit kinder, less chatter, less chance of chipping a lot. on the end. Good, good, I'm liking that. Well, I think that's all I'm looking for. Now I think I'll get some, I don't know, 180 grit hand sanding and go around the edge and further refine that round, slightly round the corners, slightly, and then switch to another grit and go over the whole thing. All right, let's do that. Hey, welcome back. Things have changed, not much. Got these things trimmed down, ground down, sanded out, and I think they look terrific. We'll do a post-mortem on this part of the project as soon as we get a couple of coats of finish on them. I think it'll make it all look a little bit better, but right now I think I'm done with my surface work, and so I think what we're ready for is first coat of clear shellac. I like the clear shellac as a first coat. It'll perform as a sanding sealer, will darken the wood, but only to its natural color. It's kind of wet oil color. It will provide no additional coloring other than that which is in the wood itself, I think. That's my opinion. And then we'll follow that with a couple of coats of amber tung oil varnish. But let's get this first coat of clear shellac on, and tomorrow we'll be able to put a final sand on them and put the first coat of tung oil on. So let's move on to that. All right, you've seen this, I'm sure, a dozen times. None of it really matters. Nothing new. Trick here, if there is one, is to keep somewhat control of your drips. So what I'm going to do is, as I come across this thing, I'm going to slightly lap, even though I'm just doing the backs right now, I'm going to lap over a little bit onto the face so that I don't have to worry about the drip. Because there's nothing worse than coming in tomorrow and seeing drip on all of this. At least that's how I feel right now. Maybe there's something worse that tomorrow will bring, but I've avoided this part of it. Look at the color, huh? It's pretty cool. Gonna get my fingers in it. I don't really care that much. I don't think it causes any real trouble. This is, how many times did I say this? This is the majority of this. It's going to get sanded off. How about practically everything that's on the surface is going to get sanded, and the stuff that gets absorbed into the wood will remain. So fingerprints, I don't really care about. Bristles from the brush, I don't really care about. Cheap brushes. Cheap brushes mean I don't have to clean them. Alright, and I just broke my rule and I lapped over the edge. Damn. Don't want drips because that makes for much stuff on the surface. Alright, that's that one. But now I can see it. Can you see this? Boy, this bums me out. Bums me out. Got a little mark. It's small. Show you. Alright, we'll try to bring this in. Oh yeah, I can start to see it. There it is. See that right there? That mark is the chisel that I used when I cut this face. That chisel sunk in a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, and I never sanded it completely out. This is a lot of sanding in these things. And that didn't work out. I'm going to have to sand that again and shellac it again. That's how it is. That's how it goes. All right, let's do the next one. Maybe that one will be better. All right, so I don't have to be careful with this. I still play with it though. I still act like it's really important. I know. I probably shouldn't. I just want a good, even as I can coat. One of the things with even on this is you're fighting, some parts are going to absorb more than others. This is the old oxidized surface. I barely got the saw marks out. And this edge right here is end grain that I planed down. So some places absorb more than others. You're fighting the absorption. Wow, these are going to all require... This didn't work out. So, remember I said, if you recall, I said that the burn marks, I sanded them out, but if you leave a little bit, sometimes when you put the finish on, they pop back up. Well, there are two marks right here that are from the burn of the sawing. I didn't get those out. This right here is a... Here I've got a little bristle from the brush. And what did I saw another thing that's gonna bug me forever. Oh, I've got a burn mark on the edge here that until this very minute I didn't know was there, or didn't know was that significant. But there it is. Jeez. Oh well, I guess these are gonna get sanded and then recoated, because I can't... It makes no sense to try to put a sanding sealer on and sand part of it out and not sand all of it. If I have to sand more in one area than another, then I really have to put another coat of sanding sealer on, because it's going to tell when I'm done. And there's another bristle, because that's what happens. So this didn't work out well at all, or so far it's not working. Okay, what's not working? Be clear. Be clear. What's not working is there's no way I'm going to put a coat of tung oil on this tomorrow. That's what's not working. Everything else is fine. I don't have a problem. This is all an adventure. Remember, over and again, I've said that this is a trial. This is me trying to figure out a new thing. I would never have been doing this if I hadn't lost the motor in my lathe, which is still not fixed. And I was excited in a way to try to do this square tray thing. It's pretty exciting. It's fun to do a new thing. This is all great, but it's not working out, and that, you know, I have a preconception to how it should work, and it's not doing that. So I'm disappointed. I mean, it would only make sense, right? Right. And here I am with you, my only friend, in the shop, alone, just us. And I'm feeling disappointed. It's just, there's no joy. All right, tomorrow this will be dry. We will resolve all of my issues. I'll get rid of the burn marks. I'll get rid of the loose bristles. I'll get rid of the little dents. I'll get rid of the chisel marks. I will clean all of that stuff up. I will put these things into even better condition than they're in now, and then we'll give it their sanding sealer coat. And we'll do something else too. All right. Thanks for watching. Hoping for the best. Tomorrow's another day.